Have you ever wondered why some automobile dealerships are shutting down? Well, buckle up because we're about to take a ride through the twists and turns of the car market. Picture this, a showdown between consumers and dealers with banks playing referee. Dealers are holding firm on prices while consumers are hitting a roadblock when it comes to affordability. But why the stalemate? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about consumers. They're feeling the pinch as banks tighten their lending belt. Remember the days when banks handed out loans like candy on Halloween? Well, those days are over. Now, even consumers with decent credit scores are struggling to secure loans for their dream cars. But what about the dealers? Some are stuck in the past, reminiscing about a golden age where profit margins were sky high. Back then, they could buy cars at auctions, slap on a hefty markup, and watch them fly off the lot. But times have changed. Banks are no longer turning a blind eye to inflated prices, leaving dealers with inventory gathering dust. In today's automotive market, affordability is a critical factor influencing consumer purchasing decisions. It's not merely about the sticker price, it's about whether they can comfortably manage the monthly payments. With rising living costs and economic uncertainties, consumers are scrutinizing their budgets more than ever before. If a car doesn't align with their financial constraints, they're quick to pump the brakes on any potential deal, regardless of how appealing the vehicle may seem. Now imagine navigating these financial considerations amid the chaos of a rainy day at the dealership. The downpour not only dampens the spirits, but also complicates the buying process. A broken code reader further exacerbates the situation, leaving dealerships metaphorically shooting in the dark. Without access to crucial diagnostic information, they're left to rely on gut instinct and guesswork, which is hardly a recipe for success. In this stalemate, where consumers are cautious and dealerships are grappling with operational challenges, finding a solution becomes paramount. The impasse can only be broken if one side makes a concession. Either dealerships adjust their pricing strategies to reflect market realities, or consumer demand experiences a significant uptick, driving sales despite the prevailing challenges. Without this compromise, the industry remains at a standstill with neither party willing to budge. Ultimately, finding common ground is essential for revitalizing the automotive market and restoring confidence among both consumers and dealerships. Whether through price adjustments, innovative financing solutions, or improved operational efficiency, proactive measures are needed to reignite momentum and propel the industry forward. Until then, the cycle of uncertainty and stagnation persists, leaving both consumers and dealerships in a state of limbo. In the dealer-to-dealer arena, auctions serve as the battleground where sellers and buyers converge, each with their own objectives and strategies. Sellers, predominantly comprising new franchise dealerships, arrive armed with their trade-ins, aiming to unload them onto small used car dealerships. However, the landscape is far from ideal, with a growing backlog of unsold inventory accumulating week after week. Despite their best efforts, sellers find themselves grappling with a surplus of cars that fail to garner buyer interest, leading to a stagnation in the market dynamics. This imbalance underscores the broader challenges plaguing the automotive industry, where supply outweighs demand and pricing struggles to align with market expectations. As the inventory stockpiles at auctions, dealerships face mounting pressure to offload vehicles and recoup investments. Yet, amidst the influx of cars vying for attention, buyers exercise caution, meticulously evaluating each potential purchase to ensure it aligns with their business goals and market realities. The dealer-to-dealer dynamic thus becomes a delicate dance of negotiation and compromise, where both parties seek to strike a balance between supply and demand in an increasingly competitive marketplace. Why? Because sellers are stuck with cars they overvalued in trade-ins, leaving them with unrealistic price expectations. And when they roll these cars onto the auction floor, buyers like me know the market's cooled down. We can't shell out the cash they're asking for because it doesn't align with the current market conditions. It's like trying to feed a dog gourmet steak on a budget dog food allowance. Sure, the intention is there, but the reality falls flat. And that's where the standoff begins. Sellers need to come to terms with the market reality and adjust their prices accordingly. But until that happens, we're stuck in this deadlock where lots remain filled with unsellable inventory. This stalemate isn't sustainable. Eventually, someone's gotta budge. Either sellers lower their prices to meet the market demand, or buyers like me walk away, leaving them with no choice but to reevaluate their pricing strategy. In the end, it's a waiting game, but one thing's for sure. Unless sellers adapt to the changing market dynamics, they'll find themselves stuck in the park while others zoom ahead. So will sellers lower their prices and move the metal, or will the standoff continue? Only time will tell. Now, let's shift gears to explore scenarios where dealerships are grappling with high-priced inventory they can't move. Dealers often rely on something called a floor plan to stock their lots. Instead of paying cash up front for cars, they swipe a metaphorical credit card, racking up interest on their inventory. However, with cars sitting longer on the lot, those interest payments keep piling up. Imagine a scenario where a dealership acquires a Honda at an auction, invests time and money into refurbishing it, but then struggles to find a buyer. Weeks go by, and that car remains unsold, collecting dust. With each passing month, they're not only losing potential profit, but also paying interest on a car that's not moving. Even if they don't spend a dime on maintenance, the cost of holding on to inventory adds up, and in a market where demand is sluggish, that inventory can quickly become a financial burden. So, what's the takeaway? Whether buying or selling, timing and market awareness are key. And as the rain continues to pour, remember, sometimes the best deals are made when the skies are clear and the sun shines on the car. Lots of opportunities. The issue compounds further when considering the ongoing expenses associated with each car. Even if there's no immediate problem with the car, the dealership still incurs additional expenses every 30 days it sits on the lot. This continuous increase in costs eventually reaches a tipping point where it surpasses the actual value of the car. At this juncture, the dealership faces a dilemma. They can only lower the price of the car by so much before they start operating at a loss. So let's put it into perspective. While losing a few $100s on a single car might not seem catastrophic, dealerships don't just have one car sitting on their lot. They have dozens, sometimes even hundreds of cars waiting to be sold. So when they struggle to move any inventory, the issue isn't isolated to just one car, it affects their entire stock. And as if things weren't challenging enough, the rain decides to intensify, adding another layer of misery to the mix. But amidst the downpour, preparations are underway to mitigate potential hazards. Leaky cars mean oil and coolant puddles on the auction floor, which, when mixed with water, becomes a slippery hazard akin to ice. So before the auction kicks off, the team rolls up their sleeves to mop up the mess and ensure a safer environment for everyone. It's moments like these that underscore the multifaceted challenges faced by auction owners. From overseeing operations to handling unexpected spills, the responsibilities are diverse and demanding. It's a reminder that in the world of business, wearing multiple hats isn't just a cliche, it's often a necessity. At this point, it's almost laughable. Take for instance that Sienna with a staggering 576,000 miles on the clock. It's become the poster child for the market's current woes. Week after week, it rolls through the auction lanes, and week after week, it fails to find a buyer. It's a spectacle that encapsulates the harsh reality of the market right now. First money, best money. That's the mantra in the auction world. The initial run typically garners the highest bids, but as the weeks go by, interest dwindles and bids drop lower and lower. Dealers know when to fold, and they won't hesitate to walk away if the price doesn't align with market value. For sellers, it's a tough pill to swallow. They're faced with a decision: cut their losses or hold out for a better offer. But with each passing week, the latter becomes less and less likely. In a volatile market like this, waiting for a higher price is a gamble that often doesn't pay off. And it's not just one car feeling the squeeze. Dealerships are bringing in fleets of cars every week, hoping for a better outcome. But if they don't adjust to the market realities, they risk hemorrhaging money with each unsold vehicle. As the rain pours down and frustrations mount, it's tempting to throw in the towel. Filming becomes a challenge, equipment malfunctions, and the thought of spending the day in these conditions feels like a futile endeavor. But amidst the chaos, one thing remains clear. In this unforgiving market, adaptation is key. Sellers who refuse to pivot risk being left out in the cold, while those who embrace change stand a fighting chance of weathering the storm. If you found this video informative and insightful, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.